Well, hello there, people of the VC and various other wanderers in on this video. Hope you like what you see in this video because it's going to be some vinyl. And, you know, I show a little bit of everything from time to time, but this time it's all vinyl. Starting out with some 45s, Energy Rock by the Energizers. And Save Our Energy, that's what Simon Says on the other side. It's on Kef Records. I guess that was done back when they had the big shortage when Jimmy Carter was president. 1974 is when they came out. And then this one is a group called Hot, Angel in Your Arms, with a great Big Tree Records label there. And Just Cause I'm Guilty on the other side. It's a great label. This is another good label. This is the group Stories, Brother Louie on Kama Sutra, and What Comes After. It's got Adam and Eve there on the cover, or on the label. This is the Honeycomb with Want Ads on Hot Wax Records. And we got We Belong Together on the other side. It's another great label. And Memory Lane Records, this is Looking Glass with Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. Such a great song. And Golden Rainbow on the other side. Then we have, this is what I was told is one of Paul Stanley's favorite bands. This is the Raspberries with Go All the Way. And With You in My Life. And the Raspberries again with Let's Pretend. And Every Way I Can. These are on Capitol, as you can see. So that's all 45s I'm going to show in this video. But I do have some more vinyl on 12-inch album. You know what they call it? That's what they call it. This is a Ronco Records Presents As Seen on TV. Starfire. Always like these compilations. Original hits, original stars. This one has Michael Jackson, and then Michael Johnson, Robert John, Lobo, Little River Band, Rupert Holmes, Escape. That's the Pina Colada song. That's a good one. Peaches and Herb, Shake Your Groove Thing. Nick Lowe, Cruel to Be Kind. I just love that song. Can never get enough of that one. Journey. You know, it's a good compilation. This is a good movie, Life of Brian, Monty Python, and its Flying Circus. I want to say I have another one of Monty Python album, but I'm not positive. I know I have all the movies on VHS, and I have a few of them on DVD, and then I have the TV show on VHS. I have a whole series of that, I think. It's the whole series. But yeah, it's an acquired taste. I mean, it's English comedy. I'm all about English comedy. It's sort of a dry humor at times, but you sort of have to be in on the joke. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be English to think it's funny. Kate Bush, The Kick Inside. I was surprised to see this one because, you know, that's Kate Bush does not show up very often. And this one has Wuthering Heights on it, which was, I'm not pulling this out because this, there we go, EMI. That's the only song that I know right off, but any Kate Bush is, you know, is good Kate Bush. This is a double album here, Walter Carlos Sonic Seasonings. And this is a synthesizer, dare I say Moog. Trans Electronic Music Productions Incorporated presents. Walter Carlos used to be Wendy Carlos. And here I like this anonymous quote here on the back. It says, I am moving all day and not moving at all. I am like the moon underneath the waves that ever go rolling. So there. But yeah, it's a double album. And it's nice, relaxing music. I mean, at times it is. And then this has a big poster here with it of the album cover. Carlos. It's a cool and strange artist. You hear me talk about that all the time. If you like synthesizer or Moog, you would like this. And then here's another one by Walter Carlos. This is the Clockwork Orange. That's an awesome cover there, is it not? And I'm pretty sure that this is not, I don't know if it's the actual soundtrack in its entirety, or if it's just, I mean, there's songs on here called March from A Clockwork Orange, title music from A Clockwork Orange, theme from A Clockwork Orange. I'm assuming it's the whole soundtrack done on a Moog synthesizer, I want to say. I might be misquoting that exactly, but I know it's electronic. Because if you see the Switched on Bach album, that's Walter Carlos. You see those a lot more than some of the other ones that the other ones don't turn up as often, I should say. So yeah, I'll read this here. This is by a guy named Chris Nelson. It says, so my droogs, if you're feeling oddie, knocky, or gloopy, or chalked with chekpuka, you are invited to sloosh the music of Clockwork and feel horror show once more. It is all, to quote Clockwork's hero, Alex Bliss Bliss and Heaven. Here all proper. Here angel trumpets and devil trombones. You are invited. So, there's the record on Columbia. And that's that. This one was, we went to a flea market last weekend, I think it was. Yeah. And we ran into, we knew that they were going to be there. It was our friend Eli and his family, his wife and kids. And we were flipping through some of the records there one of the booths had. And he suggested that I get this, Brand X. And I want to say that I've passed up their records several times, and I don't think I've ever bought one. I want to say that I have another one, but I'm not positive. If I have, I haven't listened to it, or I would have already known how great this band is. This one's called Unorthodox Behavior, and this was, I guess, Phil Collins' band before he was in Genesis. Or it could have been a side project. I'm not real sure. But anyway, Phil Collins plays drums on this. This came out in '76. So I'm assuming it was a side project, because Genesis was still a band at that point. Or they were a band. So yeah, check out Brand X. That's some good, very good fusion, jazz fusion. This was one I only paid $2 for. This is Piper, Can't Wait. Piper was Billy Squier's first band before he supposedly went solo. There's like a big sticker on the back there. That's Billy Squier there, looks to me like. This came out in '77. I haven't listened to this yet, but I like Billy Squier a lot, so I'm sure that I'll like this. And it's on A&M Records. And for $2, I mean, I would never have expected to find, not just this record, but I mean, an actual band that someone famous, they went on to have bigger hits, solo or with different bands, but that's Piper. And the last one I want to show in this video was one that was also $2. I was intrigued just by the name, the cover, how I am with that. The Glass Bottle. So, I mean, how could you not just want to get it? It's $2, man. I listened to this record, and it's not bad, actually. It's, it's not something that was, it set the world on fire, obviously, because I've never heard of them. This is on Avco Embassy Records. But yeah, I mean, it's very listenable. I'd listen to it again. But, I have an open mind when it comes to music and such. And, so there's my small stack of vinyl there, and someone had commented on one of my previous videos that they wanted me to talk about how I grew up with music and what I was influenced by and what my parents played, and so I'll go through that real quick. My parents basically listened to, my dad, for example, listened to classic country at the time and oldies when I was a kid. We had an 8-track player in the car, and he liked like Conway Twitty and Merle Haggard, George Jones, that kind of stuff. And then he would listen to an occasional oldies compilation. Like, I even remember he had a Sha Na Na CD, or wasn't a CD, it was an 8-track. So that's what he listened to. And then my mom had a little bit wider variety. She liked a lot of other stuff, like she listened to Kenny Rogers, and she liked ABBA. And then later on, this was in the 70s, of course, and then later on she liked Michael Bolton and Prince, in the 80s, Billy Ray Cyrus, Billy Joe Royal, a lot of Billies. So I was influenced by all that growing up, and I had records in my room, just a small stack of records, nothing like, maybe 20 records, I want to say, and I mean, maybe not even that many. I mean, I had small stack of 45s and even less albums. I had a few 8-tracks. I had Bay City Rollers 8-tracks, some K-Tel 8-tracks, Kiss, of course. I had Kiss albums and 8-tracks. So yeah, I played those constantly. I had a couple of Elvis 45s. And then I started buying 45s. There was a store around here called Hart's Department Store. And I remember going there with my mom all the time and bought some Kiss albums in the cutout bin, Bay City Rollers 8-track there, It's a Game, which I still love today. I have that on vinyl now. And then I started buying 45s. I remember buying some Joan Jett and A Flock of Seagulls, videos that I would see on MTV. This was the 80s, of course. And I remember those 45s they started out when I started buying them, they were $1.17 a 45. So I don't know why I remember that, but Rick Springfield, I remember buying several of his, John Cougar Mellencamp. But yeah, and then I started getting into metal, and then I was exclusively into metal for quite a long time before I started broadening my palette, with different types and genres of music. So that's what I was influenced by. Sorry to run through that real quick, but I didn't want to forget to mention that. Someone had asked me to give a rundown. If you have any questions about that, I can, fill in the blanks if there is any. So thanks for watching and subscribing if you have. Please subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for all my subscribers. Thanks for watching. I hope you've seen something you can't live without. Maybe you can find it somewhere. I mean, I'm sure you can get online and find it. So we'll see you in the next video coming up real soon. Yay.